Hey everybody, welcome once again to our Low on Health Rambling. Today is March 10th of 2013. I just want to say hello. Rose is here again. As you may have seen in my other videos I've posted recently that I was over there a lot. Actually, 3 weekends in a row I've been over to the King's Place doing stuff. And I'll go over some of that stuff in a second here. I just want to say, quickly wrap up what we've been getting into because we've been actually doing a lot of small things here or there and I've been wanting to kind of put them together. One of the first things we got into is the Loading Ready Run people, which we watch a lot of their videos. Finally got into their Magic the Gathering videos, which is that card game a lot of us used to play back in the day. And
I was like, I want to play Magic again, and you're like, no.
In which case, Rose and myself both have our old card sets, which is great and all. And then I realized I actually found this program online that gives us access to the whole library of Magic cards, and we can make our own decks and whatnot. And we've actually been spending a lot of time on that, but maybe too much time.
You spent too much time on it because you just created Uber game breaking deck.
Yeah, I mean, I do get kind of competitive when it comes to gaming in general, in which case I'll discuss my video game stuff later on. But playing Magic, the first couple rounds I beat Rose a lot, and then she made a better deck and basically steamrolled me. And then I spent like 3 hours making a deck without consulting online guides or anything, and then just made like a deck that's like broken in so many ways. But we've been having really fun playing Magic the Gathering, and I've mentioned to a couple of friends, but if you're interested in getting back into Magic the Gathering, or if you have a kid, this is a perfect application to do it. It's really fun, and it's free, and it's just a lot easier than going out and buying a bunch of booster packs and stuff.
It
doesn't cost anything. The only problem is, like Rose has mentioned numerous times, it's not as fun as actually playing with the cards.
It's still very fun though, because you don't have any limitations when you're building the deck. You don't have to worry about, oh, I don't have this card, that card would be good.
It makes a player even field, so when you're playing against somebody, you both have access to the same type of cards, so it's fair.
Yeah, and if you don't build a good deck, you only have yourself to blame because you haven't researched enough or you didn't take enough time building your deck because you have every single card ever available to you.
But it's really fun, it's really good. If you want to know more about it, just send me a message or something and I'll explain what I did.
It's really fun. Please play with us.
Yeah, we've been playing the Commander versions of it, which is really cool. It's a different variant, and it
makes
more,
the game last longer.
Yeah, it's a definitely more strategic version of it. Anyway, so that's Magic the Gathering. We've been focusing a lot of time on that. Other things we did recently, we went to Legoland finally, which I mentioned numerous times I've been trying to go to, and we finally were able to pull that off a couple weekends ago. I really liked it. We were at the park for maybe 3 hours, like for just like 2 adults. We weren't going on the rides. It did have a lot of stuff. It did have a lot of stuff for kids.
Yes,
like if you have a kid, it is expensive, but it has a lot of stuff for kids. And we actually had an extra ticket, and we actually did the nice thing. Like, of course, I almost actually wanted to scalp the extra ticket, but we decided to do the nice thing. We actually stood at the main gate, the fair there, the box office, and we waited to see basically like an impoverished family, like basically somebody that didn't look like they already had a deal or they were rich enough to kind of go there on their own, and we gave it to a nice little family. And like, oh, well, thanks, we want to buy 2 tickets, and they were real happy. And we actually caught them later on in the park, and they were real happy. We were happy to see they came with the tickets.
Thank you for giving us the tickets.
It was real nice. It was really cool. But we walked around the park. It was kind of cool to see everything in Lego form. I actually took my 3DS and put a bunch of 3D pictures, which were really cool. And of course, I can't really show them here, so that's why. No big deal. And then Cypress Gardens, which is where originally where Cypress Gardens is, that's where Legoland is. They still have some of it sectioned off. In which case, we spent almost like half an hour to an hour just in Cypress Gardens walking around the foliage and whatnot. But it was very cool. We saw maybe a total of 6 other people.
The entire time we were in that section,
But it's real nice. I mean, it's still there. But yeah, 3 hours, Legoland, it was cool. And I really enjoyed it. Like, basically, my old middle school younger self has always wanted to go Legoland. It was only in California when I first heard about it. And now being able to, it's down the road from Rose, I finally got to go, and it was really cool. And I definitely recommend to people who have families and whatnot. The other thing we did recently, just last weekend, it was, once again, the Celebration Yard Sale, which I think I mentioned a couple months back, because this is like the spring one.
Yeah,
we went. It was okay. Like I said, we didn't walk around as much.
It was really fun. I didn't push you as hard as when it was just me and you in the fall.
Yeah.
So you weren't as miserable.
And I actually got like a power Nintendo, which is something I've been trying to get for a while, so I could actually watch regular TV if I ever wanted to.
$2
yeah, it was like $2. Yeah, it was no big deal. It was $20 normally. So it was kind of cool just going around. We did it with your mom, your aunt, and your cousin. We all went along and whatnot. It was fun.
It was really fun, yeah.
Other things I want to discuss recently before we run out of time is we watched some movies recently. Just this one weekend is one weekend where we've actually had time to not do anything. We've been just
the relaxation weekend
because we have Megacon, which we'll get to in a second. So we watched Twilight, the last Twilight movie, which of course I've never seen a Twilight movie. But a lot of people had told me the last one was really campy and just over the top and worth it, just even if you weren't a fan.
And I wanted to see the third act.
Yeah, the big battle thing, which actually wasn't as great as a lot of people had thought it was. But it was kind of cool because Rose was giving me basically a play-by-play. That's this character, that's that character.
And that's what's going on, and this is why.
Yeah. Which we also did just recently. We also watched Hunger Games, in which case it was like the same thing. In which case I liked Hunger Games a little bit more because it definitely has a sci-fi dystopian feel to it. So I could get behind that more or less than Twilight. Another movie we watched recently, which I had saw last year.
The Adjuctment Bureau.
The Adjustment Bureau. Which, of course, is that Matt Damon kind of romantic drama. I mean, how would you...
Yeah, suspense, drama, romance?
Yeah, probably.
Drama,
But I really like that. And
suspense,
actually, Kevin Reed, one of my old animation coworkers, recommended that movie to me
It's a
like
really
2
good
years
movie.
ago. It's a really good movie. I really enjoyed it, and that's why I've been talking about it numerous times to Rose. And Rose was like, can we finally watch it? And we finally got around to it.
Hunger, agmes.
So yeah, and then that we're going to. And we've been wanting to get to Zero Dark 30, which we may or may not get to. I don't know if I've mentioned Wreck-It Ralph on this yet. I don't even know. Wreck-It Ralph, good movie, seen it, awesome, blah, blah, blah.
If you like video games, yeah. Watch it.
Then recently, too, because I haven't really talked about that many video games recently, because I haven't been doing video game reviews. I haven't even typed up any reviews for the games I'm about to say real quick. But the Aliens Colonial Marines game, which we've all heard is a horrible game and broken, it is horrible and broken. I wanted to show Rose how horrible and broken it was.
And he couldn't even do it.
My save file got magically deleted after the second patch update. So I was like, where's my game save? And you go online to think, oh, maybe it was just me. And it's like a known problem since the first patch.
It's so horrible, the game doesn't even want you to play it.
It was just, I want to show her the one good part of the game, the stealth part, which I hate stealth parts. It's the only good part of the game. And the save file was gone, so I'm just like...
You're like, what?
So yeah.
And then you looked it up online, and you're like...
They've known about it? They you know...
They haven't said anything about it.
That's what happens when you save. You have game saves saved to the memory cache that gets cashed out whenever you play a new game.
That is dumb as hell.
And then, so I decided to instead show her Tomb Raider, the newest Tomb Raider reboot, which
It's really good.
I really enjoyed. She played, like, for the first hour or two. She really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I've, like, farmed all the achievements I can out of it. It's a really good game, and currently right now it's my game of the year. Which I'll talk about some other games too, but right now it's my game of the year. And kind of the other high games I've played this year were the Metal Gear Rising game, which was a really kind of just subpar action game. I can't really say much about it; it just wasn't that fun.
meatl, gerar, siing.
And then
don't elbow me.
And then
Type the list,
I have a
and I'm
list
making
of
typos.
stuff, and of course it's all typed wrong. So she's saying how I have everything.
Because it's cute.
And then you have Dead Space 3, which I wrote Dead Space 3 right.
Yeah, you
in which
typed that
case
right.
it was okay. I really liked Dead Space 2 a lot because it was more isolated. Dead Space 3. Felt more like Dead Space 1, and I really didn't enjoy it that much as I was hoping to, but still a good, solid game. And then actually recently I looked at my GameFly queue, and there's maybe 12 games for the rest of the year that I'm looking forward to playing, so we kind of added some more games to it.
Yeah.
But still, it's only like 20, so this is what happens when we're in between generation consoles, and I'm not even going to ramble about PlayStation 4, except that I don't care about it at this point in time. And then, of course, real quick, the last thing I want to mention is what we've been working on the last couple weeks
You forgot Far Cry.
Oh, Far Cry, yes, Far Cry, which of course was a lot of people's
over
game
it.
of the year last year. Rose and myself have been playing through the co-op portion of Far Cry, in which case we recently beat that. I've been playing that actually over at her place. Her brother has the game and the
really
system.
fun.
And we've been doing that. And actually now I've completed the game too. I got like 1,000 achievement points because of the co-op. And it was real fun. Like, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. The ending of the co-op is very anticlimactic.
Yeah, you know, it is.
But
what
it's
it
still
is.
very fun. The entire co-op is very fun.
So. Another thing to mention too is just the duality of it. Far Cry 3 and Tomb Raider kind of almost have the same vibe and feel to a degree.
A little bit, yeah.
Saving friends, using bow and arrow, going through the jungles. They're both really good games. I really want people to like. I'm not a big Tomb Raider fan. I enjoyed the game. It's a good, solid game. Mm-hmm. And then another thing we've been doing. Like every single weekend we go over, we have meetings to discuss Megacon prep.
Megacon.
In which case we've made buttons and pins. We spent basically almost every single Sunday working on stuff. Last Sunday we finally put the display case together with cubes and got everything on it.
Display.
And
that is because I'm going to be at Megacon next weekend.
That is next weekend. I'm going to have a short week this week, and I'll be going over to Megacon, in which case I'll be helping Rose with her booth and actually manning her booth solo for the first couple of an hour or two on Friday because she will be working. But we have hotel rooms out there, which I still have to directly check up on.
You gotta.
Yeah.
But reservation. That's kind of important.
But we've been working on that, and I definitely want to recommend. I know some of you might be coming out to Megacon or thinking about going out to Megacon, but we will be at table
10 in section Gray, which is right next to the food court. If you're headed directly for the main food court, we're gonna be on the end.
So Gray, table 10.
Great tabletop.
In which case, I'll probably be posting pictures up of us on the map and whatnot on Facebook and through the other various social media networks.
The color sections are indicated by the drape that's
in front of them.
On the
So look for gray
tables.
drapes and table tent. You'll see us. You'll probably.
They're probably silver drapes.
But that's gonna be real cool. So it's gonna be my return to Megacon, which I haven't been to in like over a decade, and I used to go there for Anime Nation and work the.
You didn't go to it just because?
I didn't go to it just because, no.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I'm not gonna pay for anything. In which case, yet again, for this particular trip, Rose is actually paying for the tickets because she gets 2 for her table. But we'll basically be doing that for the convention, and we're almost out of time. Yeah, but I just want to let everybody know that that's where I'll be next weekend. If you're going out to Megacon, stop by and say hi, maybe buy a pin or 2. We look to be having lots of fun. We'll be very busy, and then we'll need lots of recuperation for next weekend. But anything else you want to add?
I'm not wearing any pants.
Yeah, she's actually currently not wearing any pants right now for unrelated reasons we're not going to go into. But luckily, like Anchorman, you cannot see. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.